Hi team, I want to do a really important video for you. It's summertime. We're hearing a lot from consultants. Oh, especially new consultants. Oh, it's slow in summertime. People are getting a little bit discouraged. So I want to share some thoughts with you that are really important. Um, a lot of what I'm going to share is directed at the consultants who are doing the 100-day challenge with me through the coaching program. But the stuff that I'm going to share is really critical to all of you. So I'd really ask that you just take a couple minutes and please watch this video and please apply the things that I'm going to talk about. Okay? So the 100-day challenge is a program and something that I've designed and set up through and with the consultants that we're working with. And really what it is it's a way to kind of, it's a way to set a goal. The goal can be whatever you want it to be. You know, everyone has a unique desires and their Scentsy experience is different, but we set a goal and we learn how to really take action. We learn how to take charge of our psychology and expand our belief in what we're capable of doing and overcome our fears and build good habits and all these actions. And we're just constantly taking action. We have this goal and we know why we want it and it's clear and it's compelling and we're pushing towards it. And we get to the end, okay? We get to this end of the 100 days. And then we have a bit of a moment of truth, okay? And some of you consultants are coming to that moment of truth where you've had that goal and you've really, and I say moment of truth because there's no excuses. You have been pushing, you've been doing your best, you've been doing all the things, all the assignments I've asked, all the things from the visualization to the habit formation to all overcoming your fears. You've been doing all these things and you get to the end of the 100 days and you have a result, okay? And now this is similar to any consultant who set a goal and who set a timeline for achieving the goal and they get to the end of the timeline and they have a result, okay? Now the tough thing, and this is what I'll call the secret lesson that I haven't really talked about in any of the coaching or the training, is what happens when you get to the end of those 100 days and you have a result, but the result isn't what you wanted. And maybe it's less than what you hoped for. You're at a T intersection in life. You're at an emotional T intersection in life where you can go one of two ways, okay? You can use the result. I'll say this is the one way. You can use the result that you have to define your experience. Now, this is dangerous, okay? You've had people, you probably do have people who have whispered in your ear, you know, metaphorically speaking, you're not really making any money at direct sales. No one actually makes any money at direct sales. Kind of snake oil. Why don't you focus on something more stable? Why don't you focus on something more secure? You know, and you hold those people off and you have this hope and this seed of hope that, no, I think I can do this. And you push and you give everything you can and you get to the end of that 100 days and the moment of truth comes and you didn't achieve what you were hoping to achieve. You can either go one way and say, they are right. They are right. This doesn't work. Okay, I'm not going to achieve it. If it does work, then it doesn't work for me. Okay, I should just focus on something else. I should give up, even though I want it so bad. Even though I want to have that stuff, and I really believe I can do it. They're right. Okay, that's one route that you can take. But there's another. Okay, and you control which route you take. The other is where you refuse to allow the results to define your experience, okay? You look back at that 100 days and you think, hey, you know what? Maybe I didn't get my result, but I overcame some fear, and I grew, and I learned a bunch of stuff. And you know what? And now 100 days later, I am way more capable of achieving that original goal than I was 100 days before, so I'm going to reset, okay? Remember that word. I'm going to reset. I'm going to do it again. Okay, I'm going to do it again armed with all this knowledge, okay, and armed with all these new skills I have and this new knowledge and this new empowering mindset and this belief that I have. I'm going to reset and I'm going to do it again. Every time you make a goal and you charge it. Now, if you don't put all the effort into it, okay, well then this doesn't apply, okay? If you're not putting your heart and soul into it, well then you get what you get, okay? And you really have yourself to blame. But I'm talking about the scenario that I know some of the consultants are facing right now, where they're putting their heart into it. They're putting everything they have into it. And they charge that goal, and they don't get exactly what they wanted in the exact time frame they were wanting it. So which way do you go? On the one hand, you go and say, you believe the naysayers, and slowly you fade away. Okay, that desire starts to wane. But it doesn't have to be that way. There's an equally empowering route. Or sorry, there's a much more empowering route that you can go. And it's where you reset. You take the experience, you use that to build on it, you set a new goal, and you charge ahead. Okay, and every one of you are going to have those T intersections in your life. Okay, there's a couple experiences that I want to share with you. One from kind of the public forum and then a couple from mine and Megan's life too that really illustrate this principle. I am a massive sports fan, okay? I played sports when I was a kid. I played in high school. I played in college. I just love sports. I'm always intrigued by these transcendent athletes, the ones who just seem to defy the rules of the game. They seem to be able to do new things that no one could do before, and they're pushing out all the records and they're changing the sport completely. I'm always intrigued by them. But I won't say I'm inspired by them. I won't say I'm compelled by them, because the ones who inspire me, the ones who compel me, they're the gritty ones. They're the ones with heart. They're the ones with hustle. They're the underdogs. I seem genetically predisposed to cheering for the underdog. It's like I'm biologically incapable of cheering for the transcendent figure. I need to cheer for the underdog. Now, the result is that my viewing experience as a spectator is sometimes kind of sad, because it's every once in a while I have the opportunity where my guy wins and he overcomes the odds, but in a lot of cases my guy goes up against a transcendent figure and he loses, okay? And sometimes he loses pretty bad, and a lot of times it's not because of his effort, it's not because of his preparation, it's not because of his heart, it's because the other guy was better, okay? And, you know, this past Sunday, for those of you who are tennis fans, there was the Wimbledon final. There was a wonderful backstory. You had the Scot, Andy Murray, okay? The first man from the UK to be in a final in decades. And they had, no one from the UK had won their own tournament for something like 70 years or something like that. They were doing all these TV specials on him, and they were showing, schools with the posters of go Andy, go Andy. And there's this wonderful backstory. Well, guess who he was facing? He was facing a transcendent athlete, Roger Federer, okay, who had won more Grand Slams than anyone. He was looking for his 17th Grand Slam. Andy Murray hadn't won any, okay? He hadn't won any. And Roger was looking for his 17th. Roger had already won Wimbledon 6 times, okay? And we know the result for those of you who watch. Roger won, and he won fairly convincingly. And at the end of the match, you see Andy there, and he's center court, and he couldn't contain the emotions. He couldn't contain just the weight of that, okay? He couldn't contain just the sheer weight, and it showed his girlfriend and his mom, and they were crying, and all these people in the audience were crying, because Andy didn't have any excuses. He had given his heart, he had given his soul to this, he had given his whole life to prepare for this, everything that he had. And he went up against a transcendent athlete, and he lost, this time. Andy Murray's at one of these T intersections, where he can either define his existence by this experience, and say, well, I guess I'll just never be as good as Roger Federer, okay? He can allow that seed of doubt to pop in his mind, or he can take a different path. He can watch the tapes, he can learn from it, he can grow, and he can reset and do a new goal. Seeing his face at that moment, it reminded me of an experience that I had in my life that was probably one of the top 3 most changing experiences of my entire life, and something that that I feel has defined me going forward. I have a law degree. I am a lawyer at the present being. I try to do as little as possible lately. I just love the Scentsy business. But when I went to law school, so law schools are peculiar. Now, one of the things about my law school, one of the peculiarities about it is when you walk in the doors, just the very front doors, you see this giant plaque, okay, and etched in stone, etched on the wall forevermore, is the rankings, gold, silver, bronze, of the top students in every single class from the time the law school was created, okay? And they're etched in there, and even though law students don't admit this, a lot of them come in there and just think, man, that'd be kind of cool to get on there. And I had the same kind of feeling. I didn't have any preconceived notions that I would be on there, but I just thought, man, if I could be on there, that'd be pretty cool. So I just decided my first year, I said, I'm gonna give my best. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to assume that I'm smart enough to be on there. I'll just give my best. We'll see what happens. So I did, and I did good my first year. I won a scholarship that put me in about the top 10 students in my class. Okay? So I was doing a bit of running, and I decided my second year, I said, you know what, I'm digging in. I'm taking control of my psychology, and I'm going to really go for this. I'm going to really, really go for it. And I did good in my second year. In fact, my last semester, my second year, I aced it. A's across the board, okay? And my grades in my second year, now, there's 3 years in law school, right, in Canadian law school. The grades in my second year were enough to put me in the top 2% in my class, okay? That meant in the top 2% in my particular class, there was 3.5 students in my particular class. So I get to the beginning of first year and I just think, not only can I get on there, I say I am going to get on there. I just take charge of my psychology. I didn't admit this to anyone because I didn't want to come across as pretentious or anything. But every day I would walk to class and I would see that thing and it just pushed me. I woke up early. I stayed up late. I pushed myself in that last year harder than I'd ever pushed myself before. And in law school, by third year, it's common to mail it in because you get your jobs in the end of second year. But man, I wasn't mailing it in. I was pushing as hard as I could. And I remember distinctly, I did as good as I could have done. I had my best academic year of my entire life. And I'd been to university for 7 years. And I almost had a flawless third year law school. And we get to the awards, and I didn't get it. Lo and behold, the 3 students in front of me, they had flawless years too. And they had flawless second years. Okay? And their first year was better than mine. So I get to that T intersection in my life. How do I deal with this? I've put my 2 years of my life into just charging into this one goal. And it was just constantly on my mind. And I visualized, I could see myself on there. I remember distinctly seeing myself on there. So how do I deal with that? Okay? Does it mean 2 years of my life is wasted? Absolutely not. I made a decision at that time. And when I hit that T intersection, I decided that my life is not going to be defined by my results. It's going to be defined by my effort. It's going to be defined by my heart. Okay? So I took the other path and I reset, charged new goals, push ahead. I'm not going to define myself. I'm going to say that's a waste and that's a failure because I didn't achieve my goal. I'm going to take all that experience and I'm going to use it and build it and reset. That's what we do with our Scentsy business. Megan is a master at this. People say all the time, oh, you're so lucky, you're superstar director. I wish I got in 2009. If I got in 2009, I'd be the exact same as you. They don't see the grit that Megan has. It really upsets me sometimes when they say that because they don't see her hustling every single day. They don't see the times that she has failed, okay? The times when she does parties and she only sells 1 cent circle. She's had tons of things like that where it's like she does things and we don't get the great results, but she just keeps charging ahead. It's the characteristic in her that I love the most, okay? She is the most persistent, hard-charging, hustling person I have ever met in my entire life. And I believe that that is the absolute keystone as to why she is where she is, because when she charges ahead in her goals and she doesn't get them, she resets. She just resets and charges again. She doesn't use the results to define her. Okay? She knows who she is and she resets. Most of the time we don't even achieve our goals because we're constantly setting our goals higher than we can. We want to push ourselves so we're achieving. But that doesn't mean we get to the end and we haven't achieved our goal and we say, oh, you know, everyone's right. All the naysayers are right. All the people who said I couldn't achieve it, they're right. I'm not going to set goals anymore. I'm going to accept a life of mediocrity. I'm going to go back to the job I hate. I'm going to do the things I hate because I'm scared. No way. Not with us, not with Megan, and hopefully not with you. If you're doing this 100-day challenge and you don't get the goal that you want, reset, dig in, don't give up, okay? And if you're not doing the 100-day challenge and you're still working your business and you're feeling you're not getting the exact results you want, dig in. Find a new path. Look at what you did. Look at what you have been doing and say, is that the most effective way? Is there other ways? Can I learn? Can I talk to other superstar directors? Can I figure out other ways to do this? Dig in, find a new strategy, reset. Okay? Reset and go again. It's a wonderful blessing to be involved with you in your Scentsy business, and I really believe in it, and I believe in you. And if some of you are watching this, you're not doing coaching, you just feel, you know, I could use that boost. Send me a Facebook message. You know, just send me a message. We want to see you succeed, and this is a critical component to it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it comes at a timely time, and we'll talk soon. Take care.